My inbox has been flooded with requests for me to do a video, to update good people out there on this Wafula Chebukati issue. Okay? Now, I first heard these rumors over a week ago. And the rumor stated that the former IEBC chairman, Wafula Chebukati, had been flown out of the country for medical attention. Now, as regulars on this channel will know, this is not a breaking news channel. This is political analysis. We wait for the news to break, we wait for it to develop a little, and then we analyze, because our mantra here is doing something that will stand the test of time. And since that first time I heard these rumors, the rumors have persisted and persisted and persisted. But then, while following up on research on a video I wanted to do on this channel anyway, the spiritual impact and after effects of last August's general elections, I decided to follow up, and I worked my contacts to try and establish the truth of these rumors. Now, I've not yet been able to fully confirm what is really happening here. Of course, I've received a lot of information, but not information that I can trust enough to come out boldly and announce on this channel that these rumors are true. Some sources even volunteered to tell me that actually they could link some neurosurgeon specialists to Wafula Chebukati in recent days. Now, as compelling as that is, it could mean anything. It could be an old friend, for instance. These things happen sometimes. In my long experience in this trade, it is not good to assume or kujijazia because you have a certain piece of information. And so in my video, I'll do something much better than focusing on Wafula Chebukati. By the way, we wish him all the best. It would be in very bad taste to wish bad health to anybody, even your worst enemy. Of course, we know that Wafula Chebukati, after last August's elections, may not be the most popular Kenyan around. We know that. But still, we have to look up to the one who holds our breath in his hands. And you cannot provoke by wishing a fellow human ill health. So let's steer clear, completely clear of that. But in my opinion, the spiritual implications and consequences of all those who were involved in the August 9th general elections, who did injustice or who took the wrong path against the people of Kenya, that analysis, in my opinion, is much more fascinating. And one of the reasons why is that, believe it or not, we have already had many casualties. But there is another non-spiritual angle to possible consequences on some of the people who are involved in the very controversial elections that left most Kenyans in deep mourning. Oh yes, there's plenty of evidence of that. People went into mourning after the presidential elections of August 9th were announced. And they went into even deeper mourning after the Supreme Court of Kenya pronounced itself over those election results. Now, what is this I'm talking about? Let me put it like this. If you're involved in those elections, and those elections were free and fair, and there's nothing to hide about those elections, there isn't any information anybody should be worried about getting out, then you're okay. There's no problem. Relax. However, if indeed it is true that some people played games with those election results and produced results that were not the real results, results that were fake, doctored, as Azimio are claiming, then there is a huge, huge danger to anybody who was involved with those elections and has information on what transpired, or even played a small role in what transpired. Amongst the intelligence community the world over, it is called tying up loose ends. You don't want any witnesses. You don't want anybody with credible evidence that could produce this information somewhere, causing it to land in the courts, or causing the public to be alarmed by certain revelations, or even changing the current status quo. That would be a huge danger. And I think it is rather obvious, we can all see, that any such person with such information would be in grave danger. And of course this would include IEBC officials at the time, especially the three who backed up the results that Kenyans were given and the results that the Supreme Court of Kenya confirmed. And of course it's not personal. It's just the way things go anywhere in the world. Even with criminals, when they break the law and they believe there's a witness somewhere, there's somebody somewhere with information that can do them in, they will definitely act. It is normal. As terrible as it is normal human behavior. And of course in this day and age of high technology, and of technology which is cutting edge, you could even get casualties from what may appear to be natural causes, like a disease, an ailment, a tumor somewhere, etc., etc. You see, the problem here is that many people who find themselves in this situation, which may appear to some Kenyans as a golden opportunity to make money, you're told to do something which is not right in exchange for cash, many of them do not think beyond the cash handout they're going to receive. They don't realize that by going ahead with such a plan, and by such a plan succeeding, their lives are in grave danger. Always put yourself in the shoes of somebody who has done something wrong, something illegal. Of course, you cannot incriminate yourself. You'll always defend yourself. But don't you think you'll keep on asking the question, what about if somebody talked? What about if so and so talked? So and so accepted money from me. What about if somebody else offers the money to talk and reveal the truth? What will happen? And you'll agree with me that you'll be forever worried until that day that person is no longer around to be a threat, because that is what they are to you. The spiritual consequences, very quickly, stem from one simple fact: the season we are in as a country. And we've said that on this channel several times. We're in the season of judgment. And during the season of judgment, it is very dangerous not to be clean. Not to have hands that have been soiled by a dirty deal, or a deal that dished out injustice to many, many Kenyans. Because if you're in such a situation and judgment comes, it will fall upon you. And indeed we have already seen, if you observed carefully, very many men of the cloth who were linked to State House and the campaign of President William Samoei Ruto are no longer with us. Just go and do your own research. Find out for yourself. This is not a rumor. These are documented facts appearing as news items on our mainstream media. Now, the way this works, according to the Holy Bible, is that judgment starts inside the house of the Lord, not outside, inside. And it is important to note that the judgment we're going through so far as a nation is not limited to the events of last August. Yeah? It goes as far back as when Kenya attained her independence. Okay? And it goes well beyond politics and people linked to politics. Okay? At least not linked in an obvious way. Yeah? And we know that currently there is the Shakahola Manenos, something which has been exposed in a very sensational manner. And Kenyans await to hear what will come out of it. But that is an example, and in my opinion, evidence that something is happening in the country linked to the judgment of the nation called Kenya. Bottom line, in the coming weeks and months, Kenyans should prepare themselves for a lot of shocking information that is linked to the injustices of Kenyans and the nation called Kenya from the past up to the present, including the August 9th general elections. And therefore, this news which is coming should not surprise anybody. Yeah, when you understand the context and when you understand why it is happening. Now, before I go, I have something that will be very useful to very many people on this channel. You see, the audience this channel reaches is very unique. We have many Kenyans, regulars on this channel, who are in the diaspora. We have many Kenyans in very senior positions in our country and living within the borders of Kenya who are regulars on this channel. We have many politicians who are regulars on this channel. That is a very unique audience. And in case you have a service or a product that you think this particular audience will be very interested in, yeah, and it is something genuine, something that will add value to their lives, something that will help Kenyans through these very difficult times, also through these very dangerous times. In case you have such a product or service, I will be very interested in partnering with you, and indeed even doing a video, a special video, focused on your product or service. Yeah, and of course doing it in an interesting way, introducing a new interesting angle, yeah, not from your point of view, from the point of view of your potential customer, from the point of view of your most satisfied customers. So if you're in business, drop me an email. Yeah, you can see the email address on your screens right now. As my contribution to Mother Kenya at this difficult time, I will do that video for you completely for free. Yeah, using my voice, using my talent, using the knowledge I have gained over the years, yeah, to be able to communicate to your potential audience, potential customers, in a way that it will be very difficult for you to communicate to them anywhere else. Okay, so I think you should take full advantage of this limited opportunity. Of course, I'll only take a limited number of businesses. Na sio maringo, it is because it's not practical, yeah, to do so many. So I'll just do a few as my contribution. Of course, I'll ask for a small fee for my time, yeah, but of course it will be a pittance, yeah, a fraction of what you'd have normally paid to reach such an audience. Yeah, so all you have to do is drop me an email, give me as much detail about your business as possible, yeah, send me your telephone number if possible, and I will get back to you after I've done my research, yeah, on your company, your business, etc., etc. I have my way even to be able to reach your customers, your current customers, yeah, those who are satisfied. And if I think that you have something that will add value to the lives of Kenyans, I will do that for you. And I'm sure it will be of great benefit to you. And also it's yet another way to support this channel and to support our cause here for a better Kenya. It is all in line with that mission of a better Kenya. Has this video made you intrigued about the presidency, especially the Kenyan presidency? Or have you always been fascinated by this office? Well, I have a recommendation to make. I have an ebook titled Dark Secrets of the Kenyan Presidency. Many of you have already read it, but many of you have also not read it. But that's not all. I have also adapted most of the book into videos, yeah, and you can receive both the book and the videos based on the book in your email, pop, in the next few seconds. Yeah, you can see the offer on your screens right now, only $8.99. And I will even throw in something more, 3 months free membership to my weekly intelligence briefings. Now that has to be the offer of the year. Yeah, so take full advantage of it. It will not last for long, yeah, just 1 or 2 days. So please rush and make sure that you get hold of Dark Secrets of the Kenyan Presidency. Yeah, it has some very fascinating stories, most of them never before told. I'm sure you've never heard those stories. Yeah, and they're not just stories. Reality deep in State House. Okay? It is a super fascinating read. Yeah, and also super fascinating to watch those videos. Dark Secrets of the Kenyan Presidency is a book like no other I have ever written. And for me, it was a very emotional experience. I started writing it in 2008, when the horrors of the 2007-2008 clashes were still very fresh on my mind. Untold horror that no Hollywood movie can ever match. And I knew then, more than anybody else, that indeed in Kenya, politics is a matter of life and death. And so writing this book was a journey of learning for me, and a very steep learning curve, yeah, for me. I finally completed it one day in 2009. The time was 3 or 5 a.m. I was exhausted, drained, and what is more, I had no idea what kind of contraption I had come up with. Was it good? Was it worth the read? Was it interesting? Because no matter how important your message is, if you do not deliver it in an interesting way, if you bore your audience, the message will never reach home. Looking back today, the reaction has always been very positive for this ebook. Some have called it a thriller. Many others have said it has changed forever the way they look at Kenyan politics. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.